Hi Scorpio, welcome to October. This is Teresa from Tarot by T. And before I start your reading, I want to call in some good energy, create some sacred space. Okay, and I want to say thank you for liking and subscribing to my channel. Thank you for those who've taken the time out to leave comments. I read all of them. I really enjoy reading them. Thanks for the feedback. And for those who have ordered readings, thank you for choosing me. I appreciate your business and your support. And for anyone new who's just watching the video for the first time, welcome, and I hope you enjoy it. So Scorpio, you have a new moon in Libra on the 9th, the 8th and the 9th. It's at night, it's late at night, so it goes. So in some places of the world it'll be on the 8th, and other places it'll be on the 9th, in the early morning hours. And then we have a full moon in Taurus, which is in your relationship sector, on the 24th. So we'll talk about the astrology, but for now, let's see what the cards say. What does Libra need to know about love and relationships for the month of October? What is coming up for Scorpio? I'm sorry. I just did Libra. I have Libra on the brain. What does Scorpio need to know about love and relationships for the month of October? What does Scorpio need to know about love and relationships for the month of October? This is your month, Scorpio, Halloween. What does Scorpio need to know about love and relationships for the month of October? Okay. Page of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, the High Priestess, the Nine of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, Page of Swords, the Justice card, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Three of Cups. Okay, so you start the month out with good news. Page is a messenger. For some people it can be children. If it's a new relationship, it's a young energy. So you could be involved with someone at the very beginning stages. It's the very beginning stages of a relationship. If it's a relationship, it could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But you could also have Pentacles here, so you could also be involved with an earth sign or an air sign. You have a lot of options coming up for you. But I feel like this is news, that you're waiting for someone to contact you. You're waiting for a message in October. And it could involve, or you could be worried about finances, because the Five of Pentacles shows instability in terms of money. Like you might be feeling depressed, you might be struggling financially, or worried about money in October. Feeling cut off and lonely. This is also a card of like depression, feeling like you're on the outside looking in. You're not feeling. It's almost like you're feeling like you don't fit in a situation, and you're looking for encouragement. You're looking for a solution. So you're waiting for some good news. Maybe you're waiting for news about a job, or news about a relationship. You're waiting for someone to call you or contact you with some good news. And you will get that because you have the Nine of Cups here. And you have the Celebration card, which is an outcome. So whatever you're feeling at the beginning of the month, you're going to end the month in a better place. The Seven of Cups in the past, this is a card of indecision and being stuck in the choices. So you're trying to find the right path to take in October, and you're kind of stuck in the choices. So maybe you have several options in front of you and you're not sure which one to choose. So it could be several potential relationship decisions, several career options. I'm feeling like a little bit of both. So there could be like, do I stay, do I go? Do I choose this person or that person? Do I choose this career path or that career path? But you haven't been willing to make a decision. You're just kind of stuck dreaming about it. This was in the past. So now the time has come for action. And the High Priestess, this is a card of saying, if you're confused about the path, if you have too many options and you're not sure what decision to make, the High Priestess is saying, trust your intuition. Trust that little voice. So if you're feeling, in one of the options that there's just something not right about this option, trust that voice. Or if you feel like, I'm being called to go on in this direction, trust that too. So your guidance, your divine guidance is within. Take time out to meditate. This is a card of saying, take time out to meditate, to listen to that inner voice. And it'll help you make a decision, so you won't be stuck in this state of potentiality. You'll be actually moving toward a goal. This also represents, the High Priestess, that things are happening behind the scenes which you're not aware of. So there could be that there are people working to help you from behind the scenes that are going to lead to a wish fulfillment, but you're not, they can't talk about it right now, or you just don't know what it is yet, but it will be revealed probably by the full moon, because usually with the full moon, whatever is hidden comes to light. And especially for you, it'll be in a relationship sector, because the full moon will be in Taurus. So it's Taurus, Scorpio, so it's going to be your 1st and 7th house. So the truth will come out on about a relationship, or some relationship issue will come to fulfillment by the end of the month, where you're going to see possibly what direction to go in with that relationship. This could also represent, your intuitive feelings or spirituality. Like you just need to ask for spiritual guidance at this time, and you'll get it. Now the 9 of Cups is coming up in the future with the Page of Pentacles. So I feel like there's a wish fulfillment under development. Like you don't have it yet, but it's coming. So you start out the month maybe feeling a little bit disoriented or not connected to anything. But by the end of the month, you're going to be celebrating your success. So if there's a relationship issue and it's kind of shaky right now, know that the 9 of Cups can predict that you are going to get your desire. Whatever you're wishing for is going to happen. And if it's a career opportunity, you could be going back to school. You could be learning new skills, because the Page of Pentacles is a student card. So it could be that, this job comes up and you decide, you need more training in some area and you're open to it. This is a card of being open for whatever. You're willing to compromise, you're willing to be flexible, you're willing to learn new things. If you are going on a job interview, I feel like you have this Page of Swords here. So they could be checking all your references and checking really carefully your resume and whatever you're claiming about yourself. They're doing a lot of checking. This could also represent spying and gossip. So if there's a relationship you're involved in that could be secretive, because the High Priestess can represent secrets. And so for some of you, if you're involved in a relationship that has been, like you're trying to keep it secret, it may come out by the end of the month, because when the full moon usually brings things to light. And maybe you're worried about gossip, or you're worried about spying, or you're worried about people, because this is a card of communication. So you want to be careful who you communicate to and what you're saying. And it could also represent having a difficult conversation with someone. Like maybe if you're dating someone who's a challenge, because sometimes this comes up when you're dealing with someone who's challenging. And so you may have to have a difficult conversation with them and tell them what your needs are. Because in some cases you might feel that you're being treated unfairly with the Justice card here. Now the Justice does mean that a fair outcome, there'll be a fair outcome. So you may just have to be patient while things are being checked out. So if something also, because of the Venus retrograde, if something is offered to you, you may need to review it, or you may be reviewing things, maybe an old relationship. A lot of times when Venus retrogrades, relationships from the past, people from the past come back into our lives. So you might be really checking this person out. Can I believe this person? Is this person for real? This could be an air sign. If it's not the air sign, then it could just be someone who's very challenging, someone who likes to argue, someone that you can have heated debates with this person. The other thing that justice represents is karma. So you could be finishing up old karma, especially with the retrograde. Like people from the past come back, so you could have closure. So you could either evaluate the relationship, decide whether you want this person in your life or not, but end the karma. Like, okay, it's done, one way or another. For better or for worse, we're going to come to some type of, understanding or completion. You have the Queen of Pentacles in your wish fulfillment. So your goal in October is for security, financial security. See, the Queen is holding on to the Pentacles. You're worried about money in October, and you want to hold on to your money, and you're looking for a situation that gives you security, that gives you financial stability, or even a relationship that helps you to feel secure. So you're not wanting to mess around with players. You don't have any patience for players or unreliable types. You want people to be honest with you. You're looking for a stable relationship. And you could have that with the Three of Cups here. You have a lot of support around you in October. So this is a card of, it could be a birth or an engagement. For some of you, you might be committing to a relationship or taking a relationship to the next level. So if you were just dating someone, maybe now you decide you want to be exclusive. This could also represent a birth for those who are wanting to have children. There could be some good news, parties, celebration. You might be socializing more. Or you might hear some good news. So for those who are in search of a career path, maybe you're looking for a new job, you could find out that you've been accepted, or you can get some positive news that makes you feel like celebrating. So this looks really good. I feel like you're going to have a wish fulfilled in October. So whatever, so don't be depressed. If you come into the month feeling depressed and lonely, you're not going to go out that way. You're going to go out feeling that you got a wish, that a wish has been fulfilled, and you're going to have a cause for celebration. So let's see, what does the moon? The new moon is falling in your 12th house. So you have some psychological issues to work out. Maybe there are certain things, certain blind spots or certain blockages that you have to deal with. Or you could be dealing with hospitals and institutions. Like maybe you're dealing with someone who needs to be in a hospital. Because you have Neptune in the 5th house. So you could be worried about someone. It could be a relationship or a child that's going through that needs some kind of psychological help or counseling, and so you might be there for them. You might be dealing with that. But it could also be the 12th house has to do with self-undoing, has to do with spiritual, dark night of the soul. So you might be going through a dark night of the soul where you're evaluating your life and you're evaluating everything, and then you come to this conclusion or awakening, and you have this new beginning, a new lease on life. So it's a good time if you want to delve deep into your psyche and release whatever has been holding you back, or to remove whatever blockages that you've had to relationship, to intimacy. It would be a good time to start some type of therapy or counseling, especially with the new moon. You have Saturn in the 3rd house and Uranus in the 7th house. So Uranus in Taurus, it's been in your 6th house. It's going to be moving, and now it's going retrograde, so it's going to go back into your 6th house. Then it's going to go back into the 7th next year. So you're dealing with relationships, but not only relationships, work relationships, like not only partnerships in terms of love and marriage, but also work relationships. And your sense of service. Are you giving too much in a job situation? Are you sacrificing too much for a partner, for a romantic relationship? Or just even people in general, because the 6th house, it makes you feel obligated, or you feel like you're being victimized in some way because you're just giving too much. So that could be an issue that comes up, that you can have a new beginning in that realm. Maybe you're deciding to take better care of your health. And so you go on an exercise program or a new diet or something. Pluto is also squaring this new moon. So you could be dealing with people that can be a little bit manipulative. Could be someone in your, like an aunt, an uncle, siblings. Because the third house rules your immediate relatives. So cousins, brothers, sisters, aunts, neighbors, close friends that live close by. You could have someone trying to bully you in some way or trying to assert their authority over you. And so you have to have some difficult communications to, set boundaries and assert your independence. Let's see, what else? You might even hear from someone. You have Mercury opposing Uranus. So that's usually like unexpected messages. So someone may contact you out of the blue. Maybe even someone from the past, because we have Venus retrograde. It usually sometimes brings past lovers back. So you could be connecting with someone from the past. A past lover could reappear. And maybe they're going through rehab or something, because the 12th house rules, prisons, institutions, psychological institutions, drug rehab, hospitals. You might have, because especially with Neptune in the 5th house, you could be dealing with someone who has some type of addiction problem. And maybe they've been taking care of it, now they're coming back and they want to reestablish connection with you. So you're going to have to decide, do I want to, reconnect with this person or not? The full moon in Taurus is happening in your 7th house. And you have Venus in your 1st house with the sun. So you're going to be attracting love in October. When you have Venus in your 1st house, you look very attractive. So as Venus crosses from the 12th house to the 1st house, it usually can bring a new relationship, or you might attract a new, someone may make advances towards you, or you're attracting love when Venus is in your 1st house. So Venus is in Scorpio, but it's going to be moving back. It's going to go retrograde during October back into Libra. So you're going like from Scorpio to Libra. So there could be some psychological issues that you need to work out, or somewhat past karma. Sometimes 12th house can represent karma. Like you may have a karmic relationship with someone, and because you're finishing that tie, or you're ending that tie, you're releasing yourself from that karma so that you can move forward when Venus goes direct. And that way you're clearing the past. You're clearing past karma, past blockages. Venus is going to help you do that in relationships. So then after the retrograde period's over, it comes out of Libra. It will go back into Scorpio and back into your 1st house. And that's when you might be freed of the past at that point. You might have come to some type of conclusion about past relationships. So I think it looks good, because I feel like as planets go through the 12th, it's like a clearing out. It's preparing you for a new beginning. So if you have any loose ends out there with the relationship, you may reconnect with them to have final closure, and then that way you can move on. So I see that happening. Saturn in the 3rd, that has to do with communication and relatives. You might be dealing with some relatives that are very conservative, friends that are conservative. You might have disagreements about ideology. Now, the other thing, Uranus is connected to this moon too. So Uranus and Venus. Uranus is opposing Venus. So whatever happens, in love, it's going to be surprising, because with Uranus, you just never know what's going to happen. So it's better to not initiate, but just see what flies in and then respond, because you're going to have some surprises in terms of relationship in the month of surprise beginnings, surprise endings. Just someone may just show up unexpectedly that you never expected to see in a million years. I mean, those are the things that Uranus could bring, especially because it's affecting Venus. And it could also represent, because Venus rules your money also, sudden windfall, sudden losses, whatever you're expecting, you really don't know until it happens. I mean, with Uranus, anything can happen. So expect the unexpected. The other thing is the nodes. This full moon is squaring the north and the south node. So that's going to be affecting your home life and your career. So it's almost like through some kind of tension or struggle, you wind up on the right career path. Because the universe wants you to be in the right, on the right path, expressing yourself, being your authentic self. But maybe you had to go through some type of turmoil so that you could see the right direction to go in. It's almost like it's pushing you to go in the right direction through some type of conflict or through some type of difficulty where you have to get out of your comfort zone. Because if you didn't experience this event, it would have never gotten you on the right path. You would have just accepted the wrong path, so to speak. So don't worry too much about the Five of Pentacles and how you're feeling at the beginning of the month. I feel that toward the end of the month, everything's going to come together and you're going to get on the right path and you're going to be having a reason to celebrate. So October looks good for you, Scorpio. Justice will be done. Karma. It's time for your karmic reward after everything you've been through. So hold on. Hold on to your wish and, prepare for celebration. It's going to be okay. You're going to be hearing, you're going to get the phone call, you're going to get the message, you're going to be celebrating your success in one way or another at the end of the month. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, Scorpio. If you want to have a private reading and we can go into greater depth with your own personal issues, just click on the link in the description box and it'll take you to my website and we can get you on the schedule and we can start working together. In the meantime, have a happy birthday, have a happy Halloween for those of you born in October. And I will talk to you again next month. So good luck, Scorpio. Bye now.